All right, in this video, we're going to create a physical hard drive from our virtual image. So this is my virtual install of Linux, and we're going to turn this VM into a real hard drive. So let me just shut that off to start things off. Okay, we need to notate the location of our VM, which in this case you see right here, C uses J, VirtualBox VMs. Your location is going to be different, but that starts things off. And you can see in the DOS world, I'm on a Windows machine right here. If I do a view of that directory, I see my VDI file right here, which is at 20 gigabytes. From this command prompt, and again using the Windows environment, we're going to set an environment variable. Set path equal existing path, and then C program files Oracle VirtualBox. And the reason we're doing that is we're going to run the program called VBoxManage. So this is what the VBoxManage command looks like. Clone hard drive your VirtualBox disk VDI to the image you want it to be. Pretty straightforward. VBoxManage comes with VirtualBox. So we'll that's the Linux matter. There it is, VDI. See, that should be, there we go, VDI. And that is going to be raw. Now this is going to take us probably about 6 minutes. You can see it counting down from 0%. Okay, and it jumps in 10% increments. We're at 10% now. Moving right along up to 40%. Now this is kind of interesting. This is an error. It says failed to clone medium. It stopped at 90-something%. Cannot register the hard drive because a hard disk already exists. Well, it didn't exist. It's just been created. So I'm not really sure what that means. All right, for the next part of this, we're going to move that image file that I've just created to an external drive, flash drive or what have you, so that I can move it to a Linux machine, because that's where the heavy lifting is going to be done. We're going to use a dd command to convert this image to a physical hard drive in Linux. And that'll take a little time. Okay, so this is where the rubber meets the road. I've taken that Linux Matter IMG file and I've moved it from that USB onto this Linux machine. Okay, it was working in Windows before. Now I put it on the USB and I've moved it from the USB onto this Linux machine that you see here, that you see in front of us. This is the file right here. It's 20 plus gigs. Now I've inserted I've also put a physical drive that I'm going to move this image to. I've attached it to this Linux machine, and I'm going to take a look at that. It's a 30 gig drive that I attached. And this command right here will display the drives on your system. And right here I can see this is the one, this SDD. It shows up as a 29.8, but there's your 32 gig showing there. So that's my drive. I'm now going to type in this dd command. And basically what it says is I want to copy my source material, which is going to be an image, to the dev that we see here. So let's go ahead and make this correct. In this case, I'll just put, since it's in the same directory, I'll just put the name of the file. And then we're going to put the SDD as we see here. So we're not talking about partitions. This is the main entire drive. Where you see here we've got an SDA 1, 2, 5, and so on. the actual entire drive will not have the partition numbers, and that's what we want to do. Is you want to overwrite this entire drive, and the status gives us a progress bar, shows us what's happening as we write this image file to the physical drive. I'm going to hit enter now. Okay, and it's counting down. We'll let that sit a while and come back upon completion. Okay, so that went without a hitch. 21 gigs, and we now, if I do a sudo fdisk L, we see we have our 29 gig SDD now has an SDD1, which has a boot record, and that should be a bootable drive with a 20 gig partition on it, which is what we're looking for. So now let's see if that boots up according to plan. Okay, we're hooked up to another machine here. This is our funky little tech computer. Press the power button, make sure there's nothing in the CD. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, that's a good sign. And we are in business. Okay, well, I'm happy to say we got what we asked for. Start menu, everything's doing what it's supposed to do. A perfect clone from the virtual to the physical world. Okay, so I do notice one thing that I was quick to get past. I need to pay attention to this. VBox client, the VirtualBox kernel service is not. I need to find out what that is. I have found VirtualBox guest editions living in the op directory. I'm now going to run the uninstall sh command that appears within it. This shows promise. Okay, this booted up fine. Connection established. That's unrelated, so removing VirtualBox like that cured it. So the takeaway from that is, yes, uninstalling it works from the command line in the op directory. And you should just remove guest editions from your local VM before you clone it to a physical drive, and then you won't have to deal with this. But now it is a perfect install. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.